Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, so today we have a special segment we're recording called Onward and Upward. That's where my co-host ML Bruin comes on, who is an author, a speaker. He's done a whole lot, and he comes on once a month, and we dig into writing. We dig into his book series. He has multiple. One of them called his Noah series, which we're going to talk a little bit about. Book, I believe, two in the series today, and Noah's going on some summer adventure, so we'll get into that a bit. But first off, ML, man, welcome back. I can't believe it's been a month since our last conversation.
Hey Adam, I know, great to be back, and we've had so much fun that I couldn't wait to come back and do it again. So let's have some fun.
All right. So first off, I know you started to tell me when we were warming up a bit of that you went and finally saw, for the long-term listeners of this segment, we talked about Michael Jackson, the movie, the series that, or the movie that came out a bit ago, and I ranted and raved, and I'm like, Emma, you got to go, and he finally went. So come on, man, how'd it go?
It was unbelievable. First of all, we missed it at the theater, so we streamed it at home,
Oh, okay.
but I made sure to crank up the volume, and it was unbelievable.
Wasn't it?
So, oh my gosh.
Was it freaky? Like it looks like the actor
It,
looked like him.
and I was asking my wife, I'm like, did they dub or use any computer generation? Because I guess it's his nephew, right? Who
So what
plays
they
it.
did was, I believe, and this could be me spreading fake
So,
news because I didn't verify it, but I heard on some of the singing, I don't know about like they
okay.
or maybe other parts, they kind of like they overlaid his voice with the actor's voice. So they did
Okay.
do a little something there, but
But
like,
even in the conversing, the talking, it was unbelievable.
yeah,
It was like
yeah.
you were watching Michael. So, and
It
I
was
think
trippy. Yeah,
it
it was
was
such a
unreal.
trip.
And I think I mentioned before, I never paid attention to Michael Jackson when he was alive. I didn't, never got interested, never listened to him. And now,
Yeah.
since he's been gone, listen to his music and I appreciate it more. But after seeing the movie, what really stuck out to me, sorry, is how I never realized, I never knew much about him, obviously, but you felt so bad for him during his young life, how he was controlled by his dad and
Mm.
it was all business and he couldn't be a child. So that was all just wow. So you have that piece of it, right? And then you have that incredible music.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
really it was outstanding. Best movie we've seen in a while. So I'm glad you recommended that.
I'll tell you, and since our last conversation as well, I don't, how does he keep on coming up? I have no idea. But we did our very first Las Vegas Live. So another show that I host, we did our first like
Right.
in-person gig in Las Vegas. It was
Hmm.
insane. Like it
Wow.
was, I stepped on stage at 10:01 a.m. I stepped off stage at 6:15 p.m. 27 interviews straight, one cup of
Oh,
water, one cup of coffee. I don't know what happened there, but I
come
just
on.
blinked and it was done. I didn't
Wow.
take a bathroom break, Emma. I don't even know how it happened. Like
That's
it was just
unbelievable.
like I blinked and I'm like, whoa, it's six something. And I was shocked that some people not, I mean, it was kind of like it was set up to where people could come and go as they like. So we obviously weren't holding
Yeah.
people hostage in their chairs for hours. But some people, they were like, they came up to me after and they're like, Adam, I was just going to come listen to an interview or two or this or that. Or like, I knew somebody that was being interviewed. And then like, I didn't expect to sit there for 4 hours. I was
Wow.
like, they
That
were
is
like, I
awesome.
blinked and it was like, wait, how am I still, I have stuff to do.
That is cool. Do you have
Yeah.
future plans for others?
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna
That's
be its
a
whole
really
like
neat
based off
idea.
of that success. I mean, it was at the Bellagio. It was beautiful. It was absolutely
Ooh,
amazing.
love it.
Yeah, it was
Love
great.
the
And
blush.
and so based off of that, I think they want to book me for like six more dates. So like one like F1 is coming up and some other ones, but a
Standing, man.
circling, thank you. Circling back to Michael though, while I was in Vegas, I went to multiple shows and I saw Lenium and I saw some other ones, but I went to go see one, like the Cirque du Soleil show for Michael. And
Yep.
I didn't realize, like, I was a little bit too young, like, for some of the stuff to understand the lyrics of his music. Like, I was just
Hmm.
too young. But all of that, like, the humanitarian side of his work and what he did, like, in that show, they show it. And I was just like,
Wow.
wow, what a tribute to his legacy to, like, continue the message of what he's doing, like, what he was
Right.
doing. I was completely blown away. I was shocked. Like some of the images that you would see that he put in his videos are other things like that. And during this time, I think that was, I could be wrong on my timing, but like Live Aid, and there was a lot of things going on in Africa that were not so good. Like people were
Right.
starving at this point, and other things were happening. And he was bringing a real attention to that and what was going on, because this is before social media, right? Like this is before
Right.
we were all connected. So he was like the conduit, and I'm like, I'm blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow. Probably one of the most misunderstood artists in history. It's really and
Ah,
maybe complex, really fascinating.
yeah, I didn't. And then you add layer on the movie and all the other things, and I was like, "Whoa, there was a lot going on there." But what else? So I know you're writing, man. I know you're. How much do you write per month, or do you measure, like, is it month? Is it week? Is it
I
like month,
Yeah.
daily? I don't know.
Actually, Adam, it's been a challenge, but this is why this career works for me is because of my Lyme disease. I cannot write. I don't write for hours at a time. So it's definitely spread out over long periods of time. I need to give my
Mm.
body and head a break. And so, but
So
children's books,
what is an extensive period of time, or what does that mean? Like an hour at a time, or, and I know it could vary,
I
but
yeah,
I'm also learning about Lyme disease as we speak. Like
okay,
I'm not too knowledgeable, so
right.
you've been teaching me,
We can,
and my audience, for those that don't know. Go ahead, please.
yeah, an hour, a long time maybe would be, yeah, pushing an hour or so with, I can
Mm,
take breaks and that's a good thing. I can get up, walk around, sit outside, close my eyes, put on my special dark glasses.
mm.
Sometimes actually I dictate to my wife so I can just lay there with my eyes closed and my wife can take it down so I don't forget it because I'll forget things in 10 or 20 minutes. So upwards of an hour, but usually
So you'll dictate like the writing or the ideas?
both actually. Yeah.
Interesting.
Both. It's usually when I get towards the editing phase, I think I mentioned my writing process. It's a very iterative process with
Mm-hmm.
many, many multiple edition steps, including up to the last edits. Those are the most painful because I really scrutinize when I think I'm done
Mm.
and not. So it depends.
Now,
It
when
could
you
be 10
dictate, I'm
minutes
curious about the
to an hour.
dictating part too.
Hmm.
Like when you're dictating, like, so your wife obviously helps sometimes. Do you record sometimes
Yeah,
too? Do you record it, or
I
like if it's
do.
just a random idea or something on your phone?
Yep, absolutely do that. Yep.
I'll tell you. So my very first book, I didn't want to write it. It was called Money
I
Matters
think you
21.
mentioned that.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
write it, but I don't know if I mentioned I dictated that book. Like that's how I did it, the
No?
entire book. Like
Wow.
that's how I did it. I had this is before voice recognition was everywhere and it was easy with technology. But this was, so, this is, I think, 2016 off the top of my head. And I downloaded this app called Dragon. It was like the most, like, you can recognizable voice recorder, whatever, way back when. And I did it. I wrote like 10, let's call it 21. I think 21 was a good number, 21 different topics. And then I just spoke on them, like each one into the recorder at different points in time. I did a lot of it while traveling, like on trains or
Wow.
wherever I was, on planes or stuff like that. And then I would like just take the transcript and then fix it and then put it all in a like in
Oh,
order,
wow.
then send it to the editor. And
Yeah.
that's how the first book came out.
I'll be darned. How
Yeah.
long did that take?
Remember,
Cover to cover.
I didn't want to do it, remember? So
Yes,
it
right.
took me about a week, I think a week. Yeah. And then and like to do the whole thing. And then
Yeah,
I've since, like that other book that I just put out, the 1 billion podcast,
right.
that took me a solid week. A week.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've gotten very efficient on, like, I tell my team, I tell like everything else. I have this one Airbnb that I've gone to multiple times when I'm writing books. And my record
Nice.
is I ghost wrote a book for someone in 2 days. That's my record. Yeah. And
So you can just focus and crank, huh?
I think,
That's
yeah,
wow.
I just only ask, I'm like, I think mentally, once I book the Airbnb, I know that, okay, I get to disappear from the world. And I think my
Right.
subconscious starts working on it. So I'll book the
Wow.
Airbnb a couple weeks in advance. And then I think my subconscious starts working during that time period. And I'll jot down, like, I'll normally have like at least topics. And then I'll just go in and fill them in, like whatever the
That's
thoughts were on the
fascinating.
topics. But I
Wow.
don't really have I don't get to think
S-
too much. It comes
Yeah.
out, and that's what comes
I,
out. It comes out, and
hey,
I didn't even tell my team or anybody. I'm like, that's the book,
wow.
and so nobody reads it before it's out, other than
Okay. Are
the
you
editor.
dictating it at that point?
Not
How,
now,
what do you,
not now.
okay.
I tried
Not at
to,
all.
by the way. I tried. You know what my fantasy was? Is
That,
Wayne Dyer used to do that. Like he
Really
used to like for like he had this process for his I think it was Tao Te Ching or something like I don't know how to say it right, but I'm probably messing it up. But he in his elder years went to Hawaii and he lived there, whatever, and he would like go out and just meditate on a topic and then he let the book flow through him. So he didn't really write. He just let
interesting.
it flow. He always described his writing process as he was connected to source and that the
Right.
words just flowed through him.
Wow.
So I tried to do that once and I get
Yeah.
myself in this whole little like, okay, the word's gonna flow through you, Adam. I sat down and it was crap. I was like, ain't nothing flowing. I was
It
over it. I was over it in like 10 minutes. I'm like, dang it, Wayne, I ain't
isn't
there
it
yet,
funny though
buddy.
how certain times I can be working on a section of the book. It's
Mm,
different with children's books because virtually 1 or 2 pages, and mine's in a rhyming format,
mm,
has its own subject, if you will, or own message.
yeah.
So it's different than writing a nonfiction or something like that. But at times it can just flow, and
Hmm.
other times it's just like cement. Okay, I need to walk away for a few days or even a week or two. I've done that before
When you
because
look at a
nothing.
page, when you look at
Yeah,
a page or think about one of your books, do you kind of remember where you got the idea for something or like a moment or
yeah,
something like that? Let's go into
I
so in your
usually
book,
do.
what's
Okay,
the one about the summer vacation? Give me the name.
okay,
I don't want to butcher it. What's that one?
yeah. Noah's Summer Adventures. It's the
Noah's
second
Summer
book in the
Adventures.
right.
I want to
So,
draw that out. Like we're even getting
okay,
the idea from it in the beginning. Like, do you remember when you got that?
I did, and I actually, I'm not sure if I mentioned this. I've had several different ideas for books in the children's books over the years, and different one, the third book we'll talk about sometime. It's about morals and messages. All of the books have, I like to convey
Mm-hmm.
positive messages, but this book, I wanted a book about what he did, more of a fun book. The first book had a message about only the truth matters. The second book, it's really more subtle. It's what he does throughout the summer, spending time with family and friends and appreciating
Mm,
the simple things. But what I wanted to do is put things in this book that he was actually going on in his life
mm-hmm.
at the time. So it flowed pretty easily because, I mean, one of the sections is he was in the book, I say he's a ring bearer at his aunt and uncle's wedding, and that's what he was
Mm.
last year, a ring bearer.
So
Eh,
where do you
wi-
remember where or when you got that idea? Like draw like how did that
For the book
particular idea
itself
come?
or the
No, for
idea?
that idea about him
Yeah.
being a ring bearer. Hmm.
When I had the idea for the book, then I sit down or, as I go, things pop into my head.
Mm.
We take him to the beach. We have since he was just born. He's not very old now, and we find crabs. So there was obviously a connection between himself and I and
Mm-hmm.
my wife at the beach. So that was going to be on there, spending family time at the beach. And then it became obvious also what was coming up the next year was our youngest daughter's wedding. So I wanted that to be. So it wasn't that idea didn't necessarily pop up. It was these are things that are really happening in his life and what the things that will be happening in the next 6 months. By the time we go to press, he'll have already, these things will already have happened.
Mm. And so
So,
for writing some of these scenes, like do you remember like
mhm.
writing that original scene for let's just take one like the ring bearer one? Is it
Yeah.
were you like were you dictating? Were you writing? Were you kind of watching TV and it popped like and you're like, oh, like how do you rework the
Yeah.
structure on something like that?
Well, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put this relaxing music on low, lights down. I can write anywhere. I can write out on the porch. I have my laptop out usually if my headaches aren't too bad.
Hmm.
And I know the scene.
Is that a symptom of Lyme disease? Like you get
Yes,
headaches a lot? Hmm.
that's my right. That's the worst symptom is chronic headache, daily headaches and
Mm.
migraines. So still trying things. I have special glasses,
Hmm.
try to take the edge off. And so that's it. So it's resting my eyes, not getting overwhelmed, too much stimulus
Mm.
and moving my head too much.
Hmm.
So once I have the scene, like the wedding, it's a matter of, all right, what is the message? Obviously, it's happiness and family, but now I have to take that and it's in a rhyming pattern. So here the hard part comes, and it can be
Mm.
weeks on one page of maybe it was 8 lines or so just to get it
Wow.
to rhyme properly. And I'm not sure if I mentioned, but when I first started writing book one, I knew exactly what I wanted to write about. And I started writing it, and I usually give my wife the first pass at what do you think? She said, this is really good, but this really needs to be in a rhyming pattern. It'll sound so much
Mm.
better. And I
Mm.
fought it, but she was absolutely right. But
Mm.
what, of course, that does.
Make it hard.
makes it really hard. And I'm
Give me a
not,
line. Give me a
all
line. Give me
right,
one
all
that
right.
was like painful. I feel like if you would spend 8 weeks on a dang line, then I'm sure you remember one or two. Give me a line that you're like, man, this was a pain in my.
Well, you have to,
It could be any book. It could be from
yeah.
any book. Just give me a line.
I think the ring bearer, one of the two lines, Noah carried the rings with his pride on display, in his suit and his tie. This memory forever will stay. So,
Oh my gosh, that
yeah,
took a lot of.
you can butcher it. So what I do, Adam, is I'll write the lines that I want to, and they don't rhyme. All right, here's what the message.
Oh,
And then I start trying to figure out lines, and I'm not joking. It could be a day, it could come to me then, or it's going to be weeks, and I'll write lines. I'll rip sections
wow.
out because it doesn't sound great, and then I have to realize, and I think I mentioned our oldest
Hold
is,
on, is this the Lyme disease giving you the headaches or this writing process,
well,
man?
probably that's probably both. That's probably why it's not
I got a
helping.
headache thinking about that last rhyme you.
That's a good point. I'm using my brain, but whoa, yeah, that's a great point.
I don't know if it's a great point,
Not
but
helping, not helping.
I
Yeah.
hope laughter's
So
good for you because this is
it is,
funny.
and I need it. Yes, absolutely. I love it.
Oh, continue, please. This is
So
great. That hurts, man. I'm like,
yeah,
that's like
so
a musician literally like trying to rework a piece of
it's
music in
yeah,
one particular line or lyric or like, wow.
yeah. What I like about it is it's a challenge, and yeah, it certainly can get frustrating at times. But when I get the right words or the right sentence, sometimes
Mm,
it's not just the word; it doesn't flow right. And then our oldest is a pre-K teacher, and she
hmm.
is perfect. I'll ask her, read this page, and she'll say, this is good, but for kids, they're not going to understand this word, or it doesn't
Oh.
sound right. So then I go back again. So that's really been a helpful in this whole thing as well, is because she can
For the
help.
audience, because
How
if an
exactly
adult
right.
thinks it's clever or this or that or whatever doesn't,
Exactly
and it's
right.
great, but if the
Yep.
kid doesn't get it, the ultimate audience, then it's like, eh. And so
Exactly.
is it ideal to be able to make it entertaining for both, right? Because the adults may be
Exactly
reading
right.
it.
Exactly right. Adults will be reading it to the young folks. I mean, we see people at our book fairs and book signings, and
Mm,
they always ask, what are the ages? And I say 0 to 12. And
mm,
some parents will say, well, my child can't read. I say, you know what? Read it to them. We've been reading to our grandson since he was a couple of months old, and they love it. So the pictures and keywords are there for the kids and the bright illustrations. But
mm,
you're right. You're writing for the parents and the kids, because the parents are the ones that are going to pick it up and purchase it. Yeah.
mm. So give me
So it's
some updates on the storyline, though. So he's going. So that's one of them. Like, what are some other things that take place in this book?
in this book, he goes to the beach, and it's all about, as I said, creating summer memories. So we incorporate the grandparents in there.
Mm. Any
Uh,
nostalgia,
he,
like from your own life? Like,
yeah, that's
do you tie any of that into it?
yeah, it's certainly do. For my own life, I'll throw in things like the number. There's a section in here about how his team wins the championship,
Mm.
baseball championship.
Hmm.
And so I put on his Noah's number is my number 12. So I have that, little things like that. And at the end, I'm jumping around here, but at the end,
Hmm.
it goes to summer's not over, but he's not sad because of all the fun he had. And it shows him, he's excited to go back to school because it shows him standing there in a football uniform, excited that
Mm.
it's fall. And I put his father's number on his jersey, and then the logo of where his dad went to high school. His dad was a very accomplished football player, athlete,
Mm.
and that's surprise. So a little surprised. I don't tell the family. They see that and they think it's neat. And Noah will also see that. There's another section in here where he goes on a plane ride and shows him looking out the window and viewing. And he had been on a couple plane rides recently and loves to fly. So I put that in there.
Mm. That's
And
so cool.
thanks.
I can
So,
see it. And
so
for kids, that's got to be fun because then when they also see some of these experiences like in the real world, it's relatable.
yeah, exactly right. And
Yeah.
he thinks it's cool at this time because he loves, even at his young age, he loves going into bookstores. And if when we go in there and he sees the books, right, he knows, he runs right
Mm.
over, my books, and he'll pick them
Wow.
right up. So that's pretty cool.
That's insane.
And
What
hopefully
a feeling. Hmm.
thanks. Hopefully when he's older, he'll still think it's cool.
Nah, he will for sure.
But
Are you
he,
kidding me? You're recording a whole series for him. He's
yeah,
going to be listening
yeah,
to this. Who that was the coolest ever. What are you talking about?
yeah.
And I know, give me some updates on what you're currently working on. I know you got
Okay.
some other books in the hopper and
Yeah.
you're always writing. So what's going on right now?
just finished up the fourth book in the series, and
What?
this one is, yeah, it's the only book I published this year and will publish. It's Noah's Christmas Wish.
Hmm.
And so, anyway, final edits are in. That's going to be available in the next few days, literally. So that'll be
Wow.
everywhere shortly. I'm really excited about this because you asked a good question last time about, or the time before, about how I think it was about my process and how I learned from book to book and what do I do, what do
Hmm.
I change, and I like to
Absolutely.
reevaluate things so I can improve. So I've been trying to. I don't do the illustrating, but I every detail is what I
For
request,
sure.
and they do a good job with that. So this book, I wanted it to be even more detailed, more expression on the characters without
Mm.
changing their look or appearance, you know?
Mm.
And so I wanted that. I want better illustrations, even more vibrant, even though they're pretty colorful as it is. And this really captured it. And then the second thing is we touched on earlier is that try to keep in mind the audience and the children when they hear this book. Is it going to
Mm.
make sense? Are they going to like it? Are they going to understand it? So I think this book really nailed. I love the other books. I'm really pleased with all of them. And this one, I'm really, and the cover looks fantastic. They did a great job. It's really colorful. So be looking out for that. Noah's Christmas Wish.
So is the cover, it's already out, like it's obviously if it's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be ready, like they can buy it on Amazon in a couple days. Is that right?
Exactly right. Yes.
Oh yeah, we'll get the link put in here and all that other good
Okay.
stuff. And you know what I was
Awesome.
also and you know what I was also thinking is for some of the graphics and things, I was looking on
Hmm.
the website and they have for everybody that's listening, there's a really cool page dedicated to all of the interviews and content on missionmatters.com that ML puts out and ML, so all of that's in one spot. And I was like, oh, we should probably start switching up the graphics. Maybe add when we talk about a book or something like that, we can instead of we
Well,
can
that's
put
awesome.
like a picture of you with the book, or if even if you don't want a picture of you with the book, then maybe just, if you don't have one for a particular book or something, but we can, if you do, great, but we can start interchanging those. But then we can also just put like book covers. Like that'd be really cool.
That's
So
great.
maybe
Okay.
next episode, what we do is we make next episode like a official book launch episode, and we
I
put the
love it.
book cover on there for the. So this one's kind of like a, we'll call it a pre-launch because we're gonna definitely put it in the, the link and all
Cool.
that stuff in the episode. But then on the next one, we'll do a full book launch episode, and that'll be fun
Awesome.
to kind of like put in between. But I was thinking about, I'm like, yeah, because this, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. And then also, what I was also thinking about for the graphics is for this particular series is when you're out and about or anything else, or you're taking, or you see your
Hmm.
books on a shelf or anything else that you feel appropriate, let's start switching up the graphics. Like take some
Okay.
pictures of your books in the wild. So that'll be fun to kind
Sounds
of
great.
like, yeah. What do you
Okay. My
think?
that sounds great. My wife loves to do that anyway, so she has pictures.
Oh, so she
So
probably already has.
cool.
So
We'll
yeah, so
send
you
it.
just get
Yeah.
them to us, and then we can start interchanging that starting on this episode if you have one
So,
that you want to put on there. That's
okay.
awesome. Of
Will
any of the
do.
stuff, anything that,
Excellent.
yeah.
Okay.
Not that we don't like your mug shot on the
I love it.
site, but
I like it.
I just
Yeah.
think we could do better. That's
I
all.
agree.
It'll
Sounds
be
great
fun.
to me. I love it. I
Ah,
love it.
this is awesome. Well,
Cool.
ML, this has been great having you back, man. As always, I love
Yeah.
it. I love having you on. I love doing this monthly series.
A lot of fun.
I'll give you the final words. Any last moments or thoughts or rhymes off the top of your head? Maybe we start ending with the. Hold on, let me try and get a rhyme. So, ML, it's been swell. I hope this show doesn't smell. I don't.
And how about ends well?
Oh,
Yeah.
ends well. There you
Ends
go.
well. And doesn't smell. Both of
And
those.
doesn't smell.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I think we just started something.
We did it.
This is gonna.
We,
That's
we wrote a line.
we end with a little prose.
Perfect.
Awesome. The last thing I'll throw out there for you is how do people follow up? How do they connect? How do they grab some books?
Yeah, thanks, Adam. My website, mlbruin.com, has my events and timelines and even a blog that I occasionally post to, mlbruin.com. Instagram, mlbruin, Bruin, and Facebook is mlbruin-author. Been a blast, as usual, Adam. Time flies.
Yeah, fantastic. For everybody listening, we'll definitely put those links in the show notes so that you can connect and grab some books. Thank you, ML.
Thank you.